First, I want to say thanks for the invitation and thanks for the TEDx team for bringing us all together. In ancient Africa, there's a legendary figure named the Queen of Sheba. She's known for her incredible intelligence and amazing hospitality. So people would travel for weeks and sometimes months just to ask her questions about life. One day, a visitor shows up at her palace, approaches the throne, kneels before the queen, and asks, "How can I find meaning in a world that's so divisive, destructive, and distracting?" The queen takes a moment, pulls out a spoon, puts 3 coffee seeds in it, hands the spoon to the visitor, says, "Dear son, take this spoon and explore my palace. Come back and tell me what you've learned. But these seeds are sacred. They're your responsibility, so protect them." The visitor leaves, goes to the first area. It's a beautiful garden filled full of exotic plants and flowers and animals. He stays just at the gate, doesn't enter. He's too worried about the seeds. Then goes to the second floor. It's a vast library filled full of artifacts from all over the world. But once again, just observes, focused on the seeds. Lastly, goes to the third floor. It's a hall filled full of people, singing, dancing, eating, and drinking. But eyes on the prize. He doesn't enter. Finally comes back to the queen and says, "Well, what have you learned?" "Actually, I didn't really interact. I was too concerned about the seeds in my spoon." I said, "Oh, no, this palace was built for my visitors. Please, try again, take it all in." So the visitor leaves, goes back to the garden. This time, smells the flowers, eats the fruits, plays with the animals, hugs a monkey, and goes to a library, starts unrolling maps, learns about places that he didn't know existed, reads books from all around the world, then goes to the hall of people and joins in the festivities. He's eating, he's drinking, he's dancing, he's meeting new people, he's making friends. Finally, comes back to the queen, filled full of excitement. The queen says, "So what have you learned?" "I can't begin to tell you all the things that happened since the last time we talked. I hugged a monkey, I learned about places I didn't know existed, and I met so many people. We ate, we danced. You should have been there, it was so much fun." And the queen says, "Oh, that's wonderful. What about the seeds in your spoon?" He looks down and they're gone. He says, "Oh, I've spilled the beans." She said, "That's the answer to your question. Engage fully in life, but never forget your sacred responsibilities." For the past 25 years, I've built a career in coffee sustainability. This means I travel around the world and I work directly with rural communities. Each one of these rural communities taught me something different about what sustainability means. Tonight I'm going to share 3 lessons from 3 beautiful places. These lessons have become the seeds in my spoon. I'm going to talk about coffee. I have to start with the land of Sheba, the birthplace of coffee, Ethiopia. Ethiopia has been cultivating coffee for over 600 years. There's 2 million coffee farmers in the country. I was recently traveling with some friends from Ethiopia, coffee producers from the region of Guji. We were hanging out after breakfast, and I asked them a simple question. I said, "What does coffee mean to you?" And they started laughing. Ismail stands up, he says, "I am coffee. You cannot separate us. We are one." I said, "Okay." And then Rosi gets up and he says, "Coffee is my love language. It's the way I express myself." And as he says it, he hands me a cup of coffee. And lastly, Yes stands up and he says, "Coffee is the way that we connect. It is life. It's the glue to my family. It's the glue to my country." You see, in Ethiopia, coffee is not a product. It's a culture. It's an identity. It's a set of values that are very, very important. These values include hospitality, respect, and community. Ethiopians practice these values every day in coffee ceremonies. Coffee ceremonies are not just for special occasions. They happen on the streets of Addis, or they're in the villages. You see them in parks, and you see them at people's houses. Coffee ceremonies are mystical. There's incense burning with freshly roasted coffee, and when you enter one, everything slows down. Somebody might bring a newborn baby and introduce them to the neighbors for the first time. You have a chance to listen to stories from the elders, and then the coffee starts to begin. The coffee begins to get served. Coffee gets served in 3 rounds. Every round, the conversations deepen. People get closer. By the end of the ceremony, you're leaning up on each other, holding hands. Somebody might be petting your face. This is in stark contrast to the way we drink coffee in this country. We drink coffee to speed up. We drink coffee on the go. We drink coffee in literally cups of trash that we then throw away as soon as we're done with it. The worst is drinking coffee alone. Drink coffee just in front of our computers, completely distracted from the presence of a sacred seed next to us. So rituals and drinking coffee as a ritual allows us to connect to a collective memory. It's a way for us to share experiences, and it's a way for us to feel something greater than ourselves. So I thank Ethiopia for this gift of coffee and for showing me the proper way to enjoy it. Now we're going to go to the northeast of Colombia. This region is called La Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta. It's the home of 4 indigenous communities. They are the descendants of the great Tairona civilization. They affectionately call this El Corazón del Mundo, the heart of the world. They believe this is the literal beating heart of the world, and it resonates within all of us. I had a chance to visit the first organic cooperative of Colombia that happens to be based in this region. The founder is an indigenous woman named Doña Aurora. She is a literal force of nature. I remember when I arrived at their cooperative, they greeted me. Doña Aurora greeted me and brought me into an office, and their 2 sons were there. And then they asked me a trick question. They said, "¿Quién eres? Who are you?" I said, "I'm Saurin Nanavati." They said, No, that's your name. "¿Quién eres? Who are you?" I said, "Oh, I work in coffee. I design sustainability programs." No, that's what you do. "¿Quién eres? Who are you?" I said, "Oh, I'm from New Jersey. My parents are from India." No, that's where you're from. Finally, I kind of put my hands up. I'm like, no say, I don't know who I am. And then I playfully asked them, "Well, who are you?" They're really serious. They look at me dead in the eyes. They say, "We're the guardians of the earth." In this region, it's a sacred duty to communicate on behalf of the heart of the world, because they believe there is no separation between people and nature. We are nature. The water from the rain and the rivers is the same water that's in our blood. The minerals in the soil and the stones are the same minerals in our bones. And the air we breathe is an exchange of consciousness between the trees and the forests. Coffee, like many sacred plants, has been co-opted by capitalism and colonialism. It's been relegated to something called a commodity, grown in monoculture, to be extracted, processed, traded, roasted, retailed, and consumed. It's been stripped of its spirit. In the Sierra, we believe that coffee is conscious. It's sentient. It has a collective memory. And if it's grown organically and tended to with love, once it's served and received by the person that is taking it in with mindfulness, that consciousness expresses itself. It expresses itself through creativity, through friendship, and through love. These are the true flavors of sacred coffee. So I thank the Sierra, gracias a la Sierra, for this lesson and for helping me understand the true connection we have with the sacred seed. The last place we're going to go to is the land of 1,000 hills, Rwanda. In the early 2000s, Rwandan coffee was unheard of. Many people believe coffee is a man's crop, but Rwandan women have a different story to tell. They started organizing into cooperatives in remote rural areas. They came together because it was a form of solidarity, a form of healing, a form of empowerment. The interesting thing about Rwandan coffee cooperatives that are run by women versus the ones that are run by men is that the women sing. They're always singing. And the more they sung, other cooperatives started forming with women that also started singing. And these singing cooperatives started getting louder and louder, and they got the attention of the entire coffee community. Women that own coffee companies in other countries started buying coffee from these women, and a movement started happening. I started listening and found myself in Rwanda about 8 years ago. And I was really interested in this movement of how it grew organically and what the power of these singing Rwandan women were. And what I noticed was the foundation of this movement was kinship. Kinship is not about bloodline or race or nationality or gender. It's about caring. It's about helping people completely express themselves. It's about having a shared cause and completely committing to it. The Rwandan women have demonstrated that if we have shared values and we align those shared values with our skills, our relationships, and our resources, we have collective agency and we can build movement. And so I thank these Rwandan women for showing me the power of kinship. These stories demonstrate that sustainability is not about saving the world. It's about being in relationship with it. At a time in which politics are dividing us and unchecked capitalism is completely destroying the planet and technology is a constant distraction, we need every chance we get to connect. There's 2 billion cups of coffee drank every day. That's 2 billion opportunities for rituals. 2 billion opportunities to connect with ourselves, to connect with others, and to connect with nature. If you start drinking coffee at university when you're 20, by the time you're 50, you will spend a minimum of $20,000 on that habit. That could be an investment in promoting deforestation, abusing human rights, destroying habitats, or it could be an opportunity to align with what you care about and practice it. After 20 years of working directly with rural communities, I now am taking that network and focusing on places that consume a lot of coffee, which is universities. Universities have students, faculty, and staff that all have that in common. And we could use coffee as a platform for education. We can also use coffee as a platform for partnership with rural communities that desperately need our attention. And if we create these partnerships with rural communities, with the spirit of kinship, we can then have the best answer for when anybody asks us who we are. We can say, we're guardians of the earth. Thank you very much.